can empathize with Pikachu as I can. I feel like I have the Pikachu party hat on, the yeah.
How do I get you to switch? There we go.
I don't have one of those.
Hello, everybody. Oh, no, it's not that. Hello, buddy. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I don't have a mic right now, so I'm going to have to raise my voice.
That's okay. You got it.
Thank you, sir. I like it. I like everybody else. I like you looking more. So, my name's Mike Watson, and I make comics. Yay! Something I wanted to do my entire life. That's a lot. Something I wanted to do ever since 6th grade. So I am the publisher for Short Fuse Media. We publish over 30 comics on a quarterly basis. I am the owner of Freestyle Comics, my own personal comic book brand. I host a couple of different podcasts talking about comic books and how to make them and stuff. And today, with the help of my amazing iPad, I'm going to show you kind of what we go through, my editor and I, when it comes to putting together a comic book. That's what you guys clap. Yeah! There you go. Don't let me peer pressure you into anything.
Your iPad went out.
You lost signal on your TVs.
Thank you. I'm just checking something.
No problem.
All right. You back?
Oh, yeah. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
All right. Oh, more people. Hey, guess what? Because you guys are over here. After this is over, because you came over here, you're just so good people. You're so kind. You have amazing hearts. I'm going to take you over to my table, and I'm going to give you something for free for listening to me gag. So it's going to be a little bit like grade school. We're all going to form a line. I'm going to walk right over there across the way. And then I'm going to show you the stuff I do at my table, and I'm going to give you this free item. And I'm like, thank you for your time, because I appreciate you so much. What's up, Facebook Live? We're making it happen right now. All right, so making comic books is hard as hell, okay? Way harder than I thought. Like in 6th grade, I thought comic books were stupid. I didn't want to waste my time on them, but I had this friend, a real good friend of mine, his name is Tom, and he said that if I didn't like comic books, we couldn't be friends anymore.
Oh.
He put it on the line. So he brought in a stack of comics, gave them to me. And I'm like, are you serious? Like this is what you're really putting our friendship on. We eat tater tots every day in the cafeteria. You want to put our friendship on these books? He said yes. So I go home, I read these books because I like Tom. I don't want to lose my friend. I'm a little kid. You don't want to lose any friends as a little kid. So I'm flipping through these books, not really finding anything. Then I come across X-Men number 16. X-Men Blue Squad, back in the 90s, Colossus, Iceman, Cyclops, Psylocke, Jubilee, Wolverine, Beast, in Russia, fighting Omega Red. Crazy, right? This dude is shooting beams out of his eyes, Colossus is turning to liquid organic metal, Wolverine has butter knives coming out of his hands, Psylocke is a ninja that can read your mind and makes a psychic sword, and I'm like, what is this goodness, right? And the X-Men are all getting their butts kicked, all of them. But this one 3-foot-nothing dude who's got, honestly, the lamest powers on the entire team keeps getting up. And he keeps taking it to Omega Red. Now, I can relate to this because I'm small, I get picked on, and I'm tiny. So I immediately catapulted this guy like, this dude has butter knives. Everybody else has all these amazing powers, and he's the smallest one on the team, and he keeps getting back up. He's the last man standing. Not only that, but he's defending his friends, his family. He's trying to protect them. And I come to find out Wolverine's like the biggest badass in all of comics. And I'm like, all right, I'm on board. So from that moment on, me and Tom started making comics. We made our own versions of the X-Men. Don't sue me, Marvel. We were just doing what we thought was right, okay? became this whole big thing. We started a comic company. We had the girls coloring the books while we, the guys, we were writing and drawing the books. We had staff meetings during cafeteria time. My sixth grade teacher saw what we was doing. She got involved. She set it up to where we could sell the books to all the classrooms. But we had popcorn, we had candy, we had comic books. Kids would bring their little money in and come get books for us. So that's when I got my first taste of business life, making comic books. All right, so that's my intro to me in my history books. So, when we made books back then, me and Tom talked about a story. I drew it on the page. He wrote the words. We folded it up. We stapled it. Called it a day. That was the book. There are so many more steps to it now. All right, so let me see where do we stop.
Yeah, any of your early work?
My early work? No, I don't have any of my early work stuff. But I have tons of artwork over at my table. All right, so this is going to be showing you guys kind of how we assemble Vigilance number 3, which is one of our newest comic books that we just released through Freestyle Comics and Short Fuse Media. This book is very, very important to me because it's our first female-led superhero story where the female is her book. No guys, or there are guys in it, but she's the main character. She's the lead heroine. So I am very specific in what happens to this book because I want great female representation. I don't want it to be a stereotype. I don't want it to be sexual or anything like that. I just want this book to be good, like out the gate. And I have 3 daughters, so I want them to be able to see themselves in comic books and stuff like this. So I'm very, very big on this whole issue. So as a couple of my writers can attest, I'm very, very picky about what we do with Vigilance. All right. So actually, I'm sorry. This is Vigilance number 2. So the setup here is Vigilance is realizing that she has a hidden spirit inside of her that she never knew about. Vigilance, first off, is the world's strongest superhero. She's a full-time superhero working 24 hours a day as a superhero working for the government. She's the strongest superhero in our world, but she has amnesia, and she's starting to realize the government's lying to her about who she really is. She made her first appearance in Hot Shot, and some things happen to her where she questions what's going on. This is where we start to realize that someone or something is actually inside of her trying to get out. And it is shaking her confidence. And in this issue, we kind of reveal that whole thing with this character that's inside of her. So what we have right here is kind of plotting out the books. We have the book was written by Mikey Cox, who does novels and things like this. Vigilance was the first foray for him into comic books. Danny Cooper is my editor-in-chief at Freestyle Comics, pretty much runs the whole ship while I work over at Short Fuse. So pretty much the process is we get with the writer and probably for 2 to 3 hours on a phone call or video chat, we talk about what we need to happen in the book. Where we're looking for, where we want Vigilance to go. Danny and I discussed with the writer, we need this, and this to happen in the book. How do you get us there? As the writer, these 5 things have to happen. Don't forget that it's connected to a bigger universe at Freestyle Comics. So how can you get us to this point? Micah then in turn talks to us about his ideas, how he can flip that, and what we will have him do is plot out each page. 2 to 3 sentences for each page of the book. The book is an average of 22 pages. Danny and I read over that. We add our notes through Google Chat. Google Drive. We love Google Drive. Google Drive is amazing. It's a free app. It's amazing. If you share and invite somebody to your document, all of us can be on that same document, make the notes and everything. And some of the stuff that I'll show you. All right, so after we get through the 22-page summary, 2 to 3 sentences on each page about what's going to happen in the book. Danny and I go through that. We'll get back on the phone or video chat again. Probably average 2 to 3 hours of us chopping through this. Once we do that, it has been approved. I need the writer to go ahead and start writing the book page by page in detail. They create a Google Docs document for us. Danny's invited on it. I'm invited on it, and the writer's on that document. So, right here, this is how the Google Docs looks to us when we pull it up. We all have access to it. We can all be on it at the same time. It's one of the reasons why I love it. Over here in the right, These are my comments. These are me highlighting things in the script and asking questions or making my comments about things that are happening here. Let's see here. So the very first thing we did after Micah wrote the issue, we sat here and we read it, we realized there was something wrong. Like the context of what we needed was there, but it wasn't in the right order. So I had the artist do the layouts for the book as is. These are what's called thumbnails because they're pretty much like that big, they're small, it's just for us to get the idea. Once the artist did the thumbnails for the book, Danny and I took the script that Mike had wrote. We compared the thumbnails with the script. Once Danny and I did that, that's when we realized the pages were out of order. Now, we had a specific way that we wanted the writer to write it. The writer wrote it. We approved it. We thought that was good. Sometimes, when you're editing and making these books, you don't see stuff until you actually have the pictures to go with the words to see how things are paced. So Danny, being the amazing editor that he is, he took out the pages and reshuffled, put them in a different order. Once he did that, I went through, now because I already had the artists do the layouts, I wasn't going to ask artists to do the layouts again because this issue with us changing the pages and moving around, that was on us. That was on Danny and I as the editors and creative director for the book. We made that decision. The artist and writer gave us exactly what we wanted. Exactly what we told them to do, they did it. But we as creatives, we are constantly watching things that we are fans of, also researching these things, studying these things, and something that you've been working on for a month ago sounds really great the way it is. And then we had a couple other books come out, a couple months go past, then when we get the art with the script, we're like, no, this doesn't work. So, how can we switch this around? So I needed, once we went back through this, we deleted 11 pages from the script. Had to be rewritten.
Oh, wow.
I plotted out those 11 pages because I wasn't going to ask my writer to do it because, again, my writer did their job. They did what we asked them to do. These changes were coming from Danny and I. So I plotted out those 11 pages. The layouts, I did those 11 layouts myself. That's the benefit of being able to know how to draw and being a creative director. When I can't explain it, I can always draw it the way that I need it to see. Pass that on to artists. So these are all the original artist layouts. So this first page, we have Vigilance sitting here. She's kind of on the couch talking to a therapist. We see a close-up. She's telling a story about a spider. She almost steps on it. She's here with her mentor, Justice, who's another big superhero. And they're talking about and looking at the spider like Justice is telling Vigilance not to kill the spider. She's not from our world. So she sees it. She's like, oh, I'm just going to kill that because that's not supposed to be there. And Justice is like, why? It's not doing anything wrong. It's a part of life. It's part of our environment. You don't need to kill it. It's not hurting you. Now, the first thing we did, that first panel with her talking to the psychiatrist, we took that panel out and we put it on the inside cover of the page, kind of like an intro. And then the very first page, I felt like we needed some kind of shock value. So I put in a reference from Hotshot number 3. Hotshot number 3, Hotshot is having a nightmare about basically being killed. We open up the page with him bloody, battered, and beaten. I wanted to hit something else like that with Vigilance because she just had a very huge fight in the previous issue that she almost didn't survive. She actually killed somebody for the very first time. So I told the artist, I want you to draw Vigilance, have her out on the ground, like pretty much in the purple liquid, just like this. We kept the original number 2 page the way it was, number 3 the way it was. This one, took that out because I was in the process of laying it out myself. So I told him not to worry about that, but start working on your pages. Another thing that we do and realize, can everybody hear me? Another thing that we do and realize is that we're on time constraints. We got schedules, we got deadlines, because FSK publishes about 5 books. So all these things are moving at the same time. So the 11 pages that were approved, I told the artist, start drawing those pages. Don't worry about the other 11 pages. I'll have those layouts done. By the time you're ready for those 11 pages, you'll have those layouts. Danny and I are working that out right now. So once we get the whole thumbnails done, and our artist So to save time, I would once the thumbnails have been approved, I fixed all the layouts the way that they needed to be fixed. I would say just go ahead and look because he's a digital artist. You guys know what the difference is between a digital artist and a traditional artist? Is there anybody that doesn't? All right, a digital artist is somebody that draws on the computer or iPad with a digital print or something like that. Traditional is just pencil and paper. So because he draws digitally, he can just take his thumbnails, blow them up to the size they need to be, and just draw right over top of them. So that's what I have him start doing. And then he would kick the page out to me. So that's page one, his pencils. We needed vigilance, battered, beaten, and broken in a purple liquid, floating. This opening page opens up, and you're looking at it, you're like, well, what the heck? What's going on here? Vigilance is the world's strongest superhero. What did that to her? And that's what we wanted. We wanted you to stop, we wanted you to pause, look at it, and really wonder who could beat Vigilance like this. Meanwhile, while she's in the water like that, we have a voiceover. And then you realize it's Vigilance telling the story about what happened. These are more pencils from our artist. His name is Eder Hussein. And this is actually the dude that she killed. His name is Floyd. He was terrorizing the city. He is a pretty big deal. A lot of destruction. He killed a lot of people. Vigilance was sent in to stop him. We don't know what really went on, but something happened where Vigilance lost control and she killed him. Ever since that happened, she was taken off of duty and she's been seeing a psychiatrist. So we really want to kind of like egg and pull at this and make people wonder what's going on with her. That was a bad dude. He was killing people. Why does it even matter that Vigilance killed him? She's a government agent, a superhero sent to save people alive. She did what she had to do. Well, Vigilance has never killed anybody before. She was not given the green light to kill anyone. So these are questions that we want to make you, as the viewer, start asking yourself as you're reading these things, as we start revealing them. This is another pencil page that Eder drew, which he did awesomely. This page is really cool. This is one of my favorite pages because this is actually like a flashback of Vigilance talking about when she first started being a superhero on our planet. And we touched on there was a guy going in a building shooting people at random, and Vigilance comes in, and again, because she's not from our planet, she knows all she does, she's a hammer. She sees a problem, she hits it, and she stops it. So this is her first incident of seeing somebody that is being truly evil and just hurting people for the fact to hurt them. She didn't like that at all. So this guy just shot a kid right in front of her. Like she got there 1 second too late. So when she gets a hold of him, she throws him through 7 walls. Problem fixed. So here's that page earlier that I redrew for our artist. It's Vigilance waking up in the purple liquid, when she's floating there. She wakes up and shot, and then not realizing where she is, she starts to fall under, like she's getting pulled under, and she's reaching out for help, gasping for air, and then we put her back in the room with the psychiatrist. This is her telling the psychiatrist this is how she felt when she fought Floyd. So this happened in issue 5 of Hot Shot. Hot Shot and Vigilance fought Floyd in Columbus, Ohio. The fight was like a 6-hour fight. They tore up the whole downtown area. From this perspective, everyone saw from the outside looking in. They saw Hot Shot trying to beat him. They saw Vigilance come in to save Hot Shot to help him out. But they saw Vigilance snap. Nobody knows why she snapped. No one knows where it came from. They just saw her attitude, her stature, everything about her body language completely changed from the Vigilance they knew her work as she was. So when we come over to issue 2 of Vigilance, we're like, okay, let's show everybody why she snapped. Let's tell that story all from Vigilance's perspective. So now, her drowning in this purple liquid is her telling the psychiatrist, this is how I felt when I came in contact with Floyd. I felt like I was being swallowed and pulled under some type of darkness, some type of evil essence was affecting me, and I was trying to fight its control. This is a color page of Veronica Smith, who is the executive editor at Freestyle Comics. She's the lead colorist. She helps us out with tons of projects. She's coloring this issue right now, or she colors a lot of her books. All right, that's how it looks without the text on it. We'll show you the text, yeah. Well, Veronica did a great job. If you can, let me get back. So that's how the page looks. Edward, again, being a digital artist, he does his pencils and he does his own inks. That's adding all the black lines, the values, and the shadows to it with inking. So this is how this page looks before Veronica touches it with the colors and before Edward inks it. If you look here, not a whole lot of information there in the smoke, right? But we know it's some type of explosion, some type of smoke. Just want to point out a couple of things. We've got some type of cannon that's fired, a small missile or a big bullet at Void that he caught. Not a whole lot of detail in this vehicle or anything like that. But then, Edit inks it. Veronica's adding texture to it. She's adding color and depth to that. Highlights to it. She added fire to that smoke to really make it look like that bullet was being fired from the cannon. Now look at that explosion now. That's a mighty strong explosion. Each person that has a part on this book is important to it. Each piece has to come together like a puzzle to make these things shine. Now Edit can draw. There's no doubt about that. But Veronica brought this stuff to life with her color on. There's just some things in comic books that can only add an essence to it with the coloring aspect of it. This, because Veronica's so experienced, I didn't have to give her any direction or tell her to do this or anything like this. This is just her knowing how to color things and how something should look. But she also needs the artist to give her enough information to be able to color this stuff. Now, this is like my second favorite page. So that's the page I laid out. I absolutely, like, the creative team on this killed this page. This is exactly how I wanted to come out. That fear in Vigilance's face when she wakes up and she's like, I don't know where the hell I am. Like, what is this purple stuff that I'm in right now? I was just in a fight. How did I get here? Like, it's all over her face. Her falling under. And sometimes you don't need a whole lot of detail to get an emotional beat across. I don't need to see a fully rendered drawing of Vigilance's body going under. If I can see the body, and we've already set everything else with the background up and all the panels, that story is being told. Your eyes subconsciously realize what that is. And what we really want to do is kind of show the emptiness of what she's falling into. That reach up for help, I absolutely love it. And then we're back in the psychiatrist's room. She's talking to the psychiatrist right now. Again, telling her this story, telling her what's going on, what she felt when she was being possessed. So after the color's done, we have the letter. Danny Coop is also the letterer. He actually got the editor-in-chief job because of his letters. Once we got to the lettering stage, Danny would actually see a lot of things that we missed, or he would automatically fix because he's seeing it at the end of the ship and putting the letters with it. And the more he caught things, the more I was like, yeah, we're just going to make you the editor, man. We're going to put you at the beginning of the ship so we catch less and less of this stuff because you're catching it in the beginning. Letters are super, super important to a comic. And not just because you have to read them to tell a story. If you notice the lettering in a book, that letter fit. The lettering is supposed to blend in with the art. It's supposed to be an accessory to the art. It's supposed to help guide your eye through the pages. And Danny has been doing this for a while. And so he does the sound effects himself. Like when I write my books for FSK, I don't even put sound effects in it because Danny makes the sound effects. He's very like detail oriented with the sound effects and things like that. And it's not just like making like the sound effect be there so you can see it visually, but it's making it work with the art. Like for example, that boom. We can come up with a really basic big boom over top of that with some real basic chopper letters and whatnot, but he handmade that in Photoshop and he made those letters all different sizes, all out of shape. Now I'm on a straight line because an explosion is a mess, right? An explosion is not clean, it's not neat, and that's how he made the letters. It's almost like that explosion is affecting the letters. And these are little subtle things that, like, you pick up visually, but you kind of don't notice. But you read it because it's there and it works. Anybody know what time it is right now?
Right, 4 o'clock.
How many more? Thank you. I got here at 5.
Yeah.
Okay, we have plenty of time. All right. So little editor's note on this page right here. So we had this guy walking through the building with the gun and whatnot. And in this panel, he was originally shooting. So the idea is that this kid runs across the camera in front, just trying to hurry up and get to safety, and then he fires off the shot. But we kind of wanted to leave it in question if he actually shot the kid or not, because we're gonna reveal that kid is somebody important later on in the book. So in Photoshop, I took the gun flare out of this second panel. I copied and pasted the gun, put it over here, and made it look like it got yanked out of his hands as Vigilance grabbed him. But then we still put the gun flare on this one to make it look like that shot still got on. So by the time you finish this panel, the question is, did he shoot that kid or not? Now, when we get to the very last page of this issue of Vigilance, we find out that the spirit inside of her is the kid. And the kid has a bullet hole right over his heart. So he did get shot. She didn't save him. And this kid has been there the entire time inside of Vigilance, holding back her darkness. So the story that we have going on in Vigilance right now is that she's Earth's greatest hero since she's been here. But she doesn't know her past. In her past, she was her world's greatest villain. So the thing is, I haven't really seen a story like that done, and we really wanted to take a character that was on top of the world. Because one of the things I really, really do dislike is when someone says, you can't make a good story with Superman. Yes, you can, you're just not trying hard. There are plenty of writers who make great stories with Superman and made them relatable despite Superman's powers. And that's what we want Vigilance to be. She is our Superman type character. She's that strong. So we have her starting off in the first issue as this mighty, beautiful, powerful character who everyone looks up to, who everyone depends on, who she's not over-sexualized or anything like that, but she's just it. If no one else can do it, Vigilance can. But then you put her in situations she's never been in where she actually took somebody's life. Her confidence comes down now. Because she wasn't really in control when that happened. But now that's been moved, now we're looking a little dirt off her past. Now she doesn't feel right. She feels like there's something else inside of her. And it almost feels like something that she used to do. So, and these are conversations that we're having, like the writer, me, Danny, back and forth, really talking about this idea across of how does a character with all that power come to our world, become our number one superhero, and then start to realize that they may be evil. That the stuff they can't remember is the stuff that they're protecting us from. What would that do to their confidence? What kind of person would they be? What type of journey would that put her on? And how many people can relate to self-doubt? How many people can relate to making a mistake, doing something that they had no intentions of doing, or even how many people can relate to being one type of way, realizing that doesn't work, working on yourself and becoming somebody different that's better for your health? If you can't personally relate to that there's somebody else that can, or there's somebody that knows a person like that. And that's kind of like the big thing that we want to have in our stories. Like, yeah, we want to have the punches, we want to have the explosions, we want to have the laser beams and all that stuff too. But we want to make characters that relate to you. So we are very, very, very overly critical about trying to find stories that touch you at your heart, or something that you can relate to before we get into the heroics, because we can make that, none of that stuff counts. You're not going to care about any of this action, you're not going to care about her saving somebody if you don't care about the initial person. And I don't care if you care about her or you dislike her, I need to generate some type of feelings for this character to want to follow the story and see where it goes. I watched, I rewatched Evangelion last night. Or I'm pronouncing that wrong and I'm sorry, I don't care. I used to like that cartoon when I was in, the anime when I was in college. I have no idea why I liked it. I started to really hate some of these characters as I was watching the show. But I was invested in it. I wanted to see where they were going with it and where the characters were going. Whether I just liked them or not, I was there. I bought in to what they were selling me, and I needed to see that journey to the end. Or there's what is it? Sword Art Online. Me and my wife watched that, or my wife and I watched that. We binged that thing in 2 days. We absolutely loved it. We loved all the characters. We loved where it was going. We related to like, oh shit, that would be so cool if that happened. The stories and everything. We found something in each character that we liked about them, and we were there for the journey, for all of them. So it's what we want to try to replicate. So before we even get to the story, we try to figure out what is it that we can do that's going to like affect our audience to want to be on this ride with us. Then when you put them on that ride, you're like, all right, we got that. What can we do to the character that's going to make people care about this ride that they're on or be interested in that? I do a ton of meetings with Danny and our writers on the book. We have Stephanie Menard writing the new issue of Vigilance. So basically, after all this happens, Vigilance doesn't let anybody know that she has the spirit inside her because she kind of can. It's going to be kind of crazy telling the world that she has a spirit inside of her and she's the world's strongest superhero. It's not going to look too good for her PR-wise or with the government. So what she decides is she wants to get her own apartment because she's never lived off base. She's never spent any money, none of this stuff. She wants to live in her own apartment. She's still going to do the superhero thing. She has a communicator. She can get wherever you need to be, but she needs some space for herself. She's in this nice big apartment, no furniture, nothing. I told, I didn't tell. I asked Stephanie and Danny, what would Vigilance do without the cape on her first day in the city? She's in the city for the first time on her own. No one's following her. No bodyguards, no liaisons. Just her, no cape, in regular street clothes. What would Vigilance do? The previous writer before that wanted to send her on a date. A blind date. I said, no. Why would she do that? She's never done anything outside of being a superhero. She doesn't have our habits or anything in her. She's been a full-time superhero. So she wants her own apartment to live on her own. She's sitting there. What she's gonna do? And Danny came up with this great opening where she's at an art store, a gallery. She's looking at a painting, a huge canvas that has one black dot in the middle and the rest of the canvas is white. That black dot represents the darkness inside of her, and all the white around it is her, the good that she's done as Vigilance. She's drawn to it, she doesn't know why, but it's the very first purchase she makes, and the very first thing she puts in her apartment. And that's when we started off with the story. And Stephanie has put together an amazing issue 4 of Vigilance, so I can't wait for that to be released. But again, with Stephanie coming on board, we talked about it. Like, we talked a lot. We got to get these ideas across. Number one, I got to make sure you understand what we're doing, where the character is, and what else is going on. Because Vigilance is part of the Freestyle Comics universe. There's 4 other books that she interacts with. So there's other things happening, like the MCU movies. And Stephanie was on board. She was all about it. And she wrote the first 3 pages. So I'm going to write the first 3 pages. I'm going to send it to you, and I want you to tell me what you think. I will tell you, we might have had, in total, 5.5, 6 hours of conversation total of us all just talking about this brainstorming and everything. Stephanie sent me those first 3 pages. There was not one editor note I gave her. I was like, that's perfect. That's perfect. Please keep writing. Matter of fact, you are the new ongoing writer for Vigilance. Flat out. That's your gig. If you want it, I'm going to give it to you. She wrote the entire issue. She did an amazing job. I specifically wanted a female to write Vigilance because this is going to be a story about where Vigilance discovers who she is, not just as like a female, but as a person. And I thought that was very important to her character. And not that a man couldn't write it, but there are little nuances about being a female that I just don't know. that a guy has no idea about that a female does. So, yes, a guy can wrote the story too, but there are little things about being a woman that a guy just doesn't. In one of my books, Emerald Quest, I had a female artist come on to that because she was dope. She was ridiculous. I gave her the design to the characters, and she called me and said, Mike, can I redesign the hair of all these characters? I was like, why? The hair is cool. She's like, yes, it looks cool. But when you start drawing 3/4 view, one's eye view, bird's eye view, you start drawing these heads at different angles, the hair just because you're designing like especially the female hair. I was like, all right, cool. Go ahead, draw it. She redesigned the hair and it blew my damn mind. When she came back. And the changes were so simple and subtle with what she did, but it worked. Again, something I'm not thinking about, because I don't have no hair. Alright, I do a haircut. I get my haircut off every other month. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not worried about all that stuff. So unintentionally, I don't think about that when I'm designing hair. I'm just designing something that looks cool. Well, what I think looks cool. But she added gravity and weight to the hair. So once that happened, it was confirmed that yes, I'm gonna have to seek out people that specifically know certain things about the stuff that I don't, so we can get that story across. And I thought it was very important for a female to help write that story of visuals because outside of her punching somebody in the face, which anybody can write that, but it's a story. It's become now a story of discovery, who she is and who she's going to be. And like now, we're really going to get some emotional beats with that. And I need a figure. And Stephanie has done a fantastic job. I can't wait for her to write the next issue and the issue after that. So, any questions? Anybody? Questions, comments? I didn't explain everything that well. There's got to be something you're like, that doesn't make any sense. We're good? Good?
Can you go back to like the scripting part? Like you did all the artistry really well, but you didn't spend a lot of time on the scripting.
Okay.
Can you go back to that?
Alright. Is there something you want me to talk more about that?
If you could just describe it more, because like these are obviously like the first steps you take, right?
Yep.
Okay. If you could go into a little bit more detail about like how, obviously you have a generic concept.
Alright.
How do you flesh out that concept into words? Yeah, into pages.
Alright. So that's part of the problem. I didn't bring the summary page on it, which is fine. So, again, so for Vigilance, this issue of Vigilance, the first thing I did for Micah was I gave him Hotshot 1 through 5. I said, you have to read this. The most important issue is issue 5. Because you're going to do issue 5 from Vigilance's eyes. We need to see everything from Vigilance's perspective. So there's a scene where Hotshot's punching and fighting Void, and Void throws Hotshot out the way, and Vigilance comes in. So we need to see what happened in that scene, because the camera doesn't stay with Vigilance and Void. The camera goes with Hotshot because it's Hotshot's foot. So what happened in that time span when Vigilance landed with Void and they started fighting? Or when there was a time when Void smashed Hotshot or Vigilance into the ground and she was completely knocked out. I need to see what's going on in her head during that time when she was knocking. Hence, the purple energy, the purple liquid, and her feeling like she's drowning, and the spirit talking to her. We need to see those things when she blacks out. Because it's literally a moment when she completely blacks out. She has purple energy pouring out of her eyes, and Hotshot is trying to hold her back from killing Void. And you're like when you see Hotshot holding Vigilance back, you're like, as a reader, you're like, what the F? So, when I was speaking to Micah, he said, you need to see that from Vigilance's perspective, because we saw it from Hotshot's perspective. So what Micah ended up doing was, in Vigilance's head, it wasn't Hotshot that was holding her back. It was Justice, her mentor, that was holding her back. Just like, that's what she saw, and she throws Hotshot off of her. And we're like, why is Vigilance throwing Hotshot? That's her friend. Well, no, she thinks it's Justice, and she knows Justice is dead. So, like, why is the ghost touching her? So really talking out those type of scenarios, and like, so we probably told Micah, there was like 7 to 8 things that had to happen in the book, that he had to include it. Now, how you get there, this one's a little bit tight. So he's got to have issue 5 in front of him while he's writing. He's got to have these 7 things from Vigilance perspective happening, and then create a story around it. So he's got to be reading issue 5, like, okay, here's a point where we get to focus on Vigilance. There's another point where we get to focus on Vigilance. There's another point in this issue. So we found all the points where we can sit back and look at it from Vigilance perspective that we didn't explore in issue 5 of Hotshot. So once he had those, he had a point, then he has to write into a story, which he does 22 summary sentences. Each page gets 2 to 3 sentences of what's going to happen on that overall page. Once he sends that to me, I got 20. It's like thumbnails, but for writing.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's just like rough sentences, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like getting some words out on the idea.
Right. So page 1 is Vigilance is in a pool of purple liquid. She's beat up. She's broken. Boom. Page 1's done.
Yeah.
Page 2, Void catches a missile. We pick up on issue 5 where Void catches a missile. He throws it back at the tanker. Vigilance catches the missile. It explodes. Boom. Page 3. So just real quick quips about what's happening on each page. Once we have that, once Mike got all that done, sends it to Danny and I. Danny reads it. I read it separately from each other. We're on the Google Drive. We add our questions. We add our notes. Once that's done, every time we get a question or note on that Google Drive, it sends a notification to Mike. So when Micah sees it through his email, he knows he can jump on it. He can jump on it anytime he wants. But say, for instance, he's at home and he's getting that email, he can jump right on there with us, and he can immediately start answering those questions, and we can make edits and changes there. And a lot of times, it's kind of like how our meetings go. Like, that'll be an impromptu meeting, like, at 10 o'clock at night, Danny's reading it, I'm reading it, boom, boom, boom. All of a sudden, Micah pops in at 11:30, and he's changing stuff for us and stuff like that. So once all that's done, I'm like, all right, Danny will say, 22 pages approved, let's go to a full script. So now Mike has to take those 22 pages, he has to expand on it. When you're writing a comic page, you have to tell the artist, no, you don't have to. Some writers are very, very specific on how many panels they want, what camera angles they want, where the scene is. Other writers are super loose, and they'll just describe what's happening on the page in like 20 or 30 sentences, and leave it up to the artist to decide how many panels to use, what camera angle to use, and things like that. But Mike is very detailed. So he's telling you how many panels you need. We'll say page 1 is 1 panel. Page 2 is 6 panels. Page 3, 4 panels. Then he describes what's happening on each one of those panels. Then he does the dialogue for each one of those panels. Once he's done that for 22 pages, sends it to Danny and me, or Danny and I. And Danny and I go through it. We ask questions. I think there was one where we asked, like, I can't remember the exact thing, but I do remember the wording of, why would Vigilance do this here? And then Micah saw it, and he responded like, well, I'm thinking she does it because da-da-da-da-da-da. And I would say, all right, that makes sense, or no, that doesn't work because in issue 3 of Hotshot, that's not something she would do. So I want to give it a chance because the writer can be seeing it from a completely different perspective of something that I'm not seeing. So once we get through that process, that is about a 2-week process of editing, back and forth, working with the writer and stuff. Once that's done, Danny will say the script is approved. Then we send the script over to the artist, and the artist does the thumbnails. And from there, it's everything else that's it. All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming on out and checking me out. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it gave you some information that you can use, or I hope you found it entertaining. If you want, I'm not going to hold you hostage. But my table is 1 block over there. If you want, you come on over, see the nice things that I have. And you can get a free item for spending some time with me today.
Do you have like the actual story?
Yeah, it's the summary.
Yeah, you have a summary.
That's what I needed to do. Not correct me too. I have a storyline. It's stupid.
That's why I am at age 23.
Sir, he left his camera here. I am concerned. I don't want to just leave it here.
Then grab
Should we
it.
take it?
Then grab it. Say hi to him.
Hi. I think it's his camera, isn't it?
Yeah.
It can't just be a random camera. Okay, let's take it. Let's take it with us. Hold on, oh, we lost it though. We gotta go quick. Is it his? Where did he go? Oh my god, okay, so I lost him. Where'd he go?
I don't know.
Is that him? I feel like he went through here.
Probably stole somebody else's camera.
Right? Where is he? Where is he? There's a room here. Where is he? What room is he in? Bro, what room is he in? What was his name? I'm freaking out now. Is it here? This is what happens when we take forever to make a decision. Look, I hear his voice. Ah. Damn, found him.
It's yours?
So much. I am crazy out here.
Everybody just witnessed that on there online.
These guys are awesome. Please stick around so I can give you something for free. All right, so Heroes International. Heroes International is the premier superhero team in my world. They're just like your X-Men or your Avengers with one key exception. They suck. They're the worst team ever put together. Emerald Quest. If you like Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, and X-Men, put it in a pot, shake it up, you'll get Emerald Quest. Our first epic fantasy tale. The Cypher. The Cypher is a book composed of 2 to 3 short stories featuring new characters to the world of FSK. What's the world of FSK? That's a really good question. That's all 5 of these comic books put together in one comic book universe. It's a shared world amongst them. So these characters will cross over and mix and mingle. Our newest issue is called The Source Book. It's a bunch of secret information about each one of our characters, some redacted info. Now, all the comic books are $5. We have multiple issues of each book available today for your purchase. If comic books aren't your thing, I also do prints. My prints are 1 for 10 or 4 for 20. I have a large array of prints to choose from, some original characters, some mashups, and mainstream fandom as well. They all come in 11x17 full color. My turtle prints are my #1 sellers. They're pretty popular. I've been selling them for a while. If prints aren't your thing, I also have original artwork that you can flip through. I'm not really a greedy guy, so if you see something you want, toss me out an offer, chances are you'll walk home with it. Some of this artwork is artwork that I have up here, so if it's a print, you'll get the print with the original artwork for free. If you buy any comic pages, you'll get the artwork, but you'll get the comic book from the page for free. That is pretty much my spiel. Now, each of you can pick one of these cards as a free item. These are Wizard World exclusive cards. They're collectible, but it's also a battle card game. So every show I go to, I print up about 5 or 7 new ones to add to the deck. I'm at about 24 cards right now. A full deck is $10, but you get one of these cards for free today for coming out and hanging out with me and seeing what I got. And I appreciate you guys. Again, you're more than welcome to flip through, check out everything up here. It's like a car. You won't know if you like it unless you test drive it. So you gotta flip through these pages and stuff. Which one do you want?
The visual.
There you go, sir.
Then do you have the first one of both of these?
Yes.
How much are they?
$5 a piece.
Okay. Do you take credit card? Okay, perfect.
Would you like them signed?
Actually, it'd be great if you could.